From the busy streets of Addis Ababa's Mercato district to international acclaim, this is the story of Ethiopia's musical giant. We're going to explore his humble beginnings, his meteoric rise, the golden era of Ethiopian music that he helped define, his global breakthrough, and his lasting legacy. Imagine this: a young boy in the bustling Mercato district of Addis Ababa. He's shining shoes on the street, and the sounds of modern jazz, soul, and traditional Ethiopian rhythms are drifting past his feet. He can't read well in school, but his soul is listening. One night, a house band doesn't show up, and the microphone sits silent. That Shoeshine boy steps up. That boy is Mahmoud Ahmed. From a Shoeshine box to international stages, what happened next didn't just change his life. It changed the sound of a nation. This is more than a biography. It's a journey of resilience, culture, and the power of music to cross borders. Stay with me, because you're about to go behind the scenes of how Ethiopia's music icon made his mark, and how his voice still echoes today. Mahmoud Ahmed was born in May 1941 in Addis Ababa's lively Mercato district. He came from a humble family of garage ancestry. His early years were a world away from the glamour of a recording studio. In fact, he worked as a shoeshine boy and later as a handyman at the Arizona Club, a place where the elite and the everyday came together and where the music of a changing Ethiopia was being written. At that club, he watched, he listened, he absorbed everything. Then one night in the early 1960s, the singer failed to appear. Mahmoud asked, "May I sing?" The answer was yes, and that single moment changed everything. It is the kind of story that reminds us that greatness can begin in the most unlikely of places, from a street corner to the spotlight. As Mahmoud stepped into that spotlight, the 1960s and 70s in Ethiopia were a golden era of music. Big bands, a fusion of traditional rhythms with Western jazz and soul, energized the air. Mahmoud became a central part of that pulse. He joined the legendary Imperial Body Guard Band and stayed with them until around 1974. In 1971, he cut his first singles, Nafkot Nu Yegodagn and Yasdestal. He recorded with the major labels of the time, Amha and Kaifa. His songs often tapped into deep, raw emotions, nostalgia, longing, and love, the Ethiopian concept of Tizita, which is so reminiscent of the Portuguese saudade. But the culture around him was changing rapidly. The overthrow of Emperor Haile Selassie, shifts in government regimes, and new censorship laws all came into play. These events didn't stop Mahmoud, but they did transform the music landscape. One of his landmark albums, Ere Mela Mela, originally released in the mid-1970s, became a signature of his unique style. By the 1980s, while he was still performing, Mahmoud even opened his own music store in Addis Ababa's Piazza district, bridging his art with entrepreneurship. From shining shoes to owning a music store, Mahmoud's climb was a mix of incredible talent, perfect timing, cultural shifts, and pure tenacity. But his story didn't stop in Ethiopia. His voice was about to travel the world. In 1986, the Belgian label Crammed Discs released Ere Mela Mela internationally, drawing from his earlier Addis recordings with the Ibex Band. Then, in the late 1990s, the French label Buddha Musique launched the hugely influential Ethiopiques series, which championed Ethiopian music globally, and Mahmoud featured prominently. He began touring Europe and the United States, connecting with diaspora communities, and became one of the first Ethiopian artists to gain serious world music recognition. In 2007, he even won the BBC World Music Award, a major acknowledgement of his role in global cultural exchange. His sound was this incredible blend of traditional Ethiopian rhythms, soulful vocals, and modern instrumentation, a voice that could croon, shout, and swoon. As one writer put it, "There's something incredibly moving about his voice." Mahmoud Ahmed became in many ways the bridge between Ethiopia's rich musical heritage and the world stage. Today, when you listen to the infectious groove of Ethio-jazz or the haunting lines of Tizita, you're hearing the echoes of Mahmoud's influence. His songs often dealt with memory, longing, and love, themes that are universal and timeless. He carried his homeland's story in his voice. Addis in the 1960s, the Mercato streets, the clubs, the transitions, the diaspora. He never forgot where he came from, and that grounded authenticity is a huge part of why his music resonates so deeply. In Ethiopia and among the Ethiopian diaspora worldwide, Mahmoud Ahmed isn't just a singer, he's an emblem of cultural pride. And globally, he opened doors for the Ethiopiques series, for Ethio-jazz, and for world music audiences everywhere. Here are a few standout points to really let sink in. He came up from extremely modest beginnings, going from a Shoeshine boy to a band singer to an international star. He evolved with and through Ethiopia's own political, cultural, and musical changes. He blended tradition with innovation. The krar, the mandolin, the guitar, old rhythms meeting modern production. And his legacy continues today. As younger musicians cite him as an influence, his recordings are constantly being rediscovered, and his story still inspires. So what can we learn from his journey? That talent matters, of course, but so do timing, opportunity, and persistence. That your culture and roots are your strength, and that the world will listen when you speak from a place of authenticity. As you reflect on Mahmoud Ahmed's life, just imagine the thousands of voices and feet he has moved, the emotions he has stirred, and the culture he has shared with the world. From Addis to Paris, from underground clubs to world festival stages, his journey is one we can all draw meaning from. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the life of Mahmoud Ahmed, Ethiopia's legendary voice. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next journey into music history. Leave a comment below. Which Mahmoud track moves you the most? Have you dived into the Ethiopiques collection yet? Let's talk. Until next time, keep listening, keep exploring, because every great voice began somewhere. See you in the next video.